Feel about the show to start with?
I was happy.
How can you tell when a show is working?
You just know. You just know.
In 1991, I remember you guys getting the Lifetime Achievement Video Award. Can you describe how you were feeling? I mean,
it was a terrible feeling. I fired our manager that night. I didn't speak to the band prior to it. We sat in different rooms at the awards. I knew in my heart that they were giving us that award for ratings and not because of any other reason. We'd been in the business for 7 years, and they're giving you a Lifetime Achievement Award.
But I'm assuming that night was one part of a larger picture.
The burnout of the Slippery era, Slippery, that amazing tour that took us to heights beyond, that's that 1 in a million. Instead of sitting home and going, this is great, let's take a year, enjoy this, write some songs, go to the beach, we just went, wow, this is like junk, you know, I need more. And ran in and did Jersey. And in retrospect, it was too quick. So by the time that tour was over, it was 2 albums, 200-plus show tours, and burnout.
Descubrir en un día en la vida junto a Bon Jovi. De actor. John, let's talk a little bit about what is all about Moonlight and Valentino and some future plans. I heard The Leading Man was the next film.
I did a movie. It'll be out this month in America called Moonlight and Valentino, and it was a great experience, one I want to do more of for fun. And I'm doing another one in January when we take the break. But it's just a hobby, you know, it's just a way of being artistic and remaining in the arts without, you know, giving up what it is that we do for a living, just like the way Tico's doing his art and his art shows now. And, you know, there's solo albums, and Richie's going to do another one, and it's just all of our opportunities to stretch.
Richie, in your case, there's something else besides like when Bon Jovi, the band, takes a break? What do you do? Maybe Stranger in This Town was the name of your album?
Yeah, just, you know, solo albums for me, and, you know, having some personal time is what I like to do. I don't keep my nose in music.
Okay. What kind of music do you still have time to listen music while you're on the road? Sure. I mean, can you give us some name of?
I mean, that's the lifeblood. I mean, I just stumbled on a record that's probably 25 years old that I just went by, an Albert King record that I just went, how did I miss this? You know, and it came up and it taught me all this new stuff. Records are like books. You actually read them with your ears. They're like lifeblood to musicians.
Okay.
So that's what keeps you going out here. New records and new CDs. We're all involved with listening to that other day because it's just fun. Keeps you stimulated.
Let's back into this day's album. The new single is Something for the Pain. You also played it yesterday. Played it in the VMAs. Let's talk about the video because it's a very fun video, state of the art. Let's talk about whose idea was it?
Well,
no, not really.
It was just an idea that then we gave the director, who he improved greatly, and we just wanted to have a little fun with it and lighten it up because so many videos are so serious, and ours were becoming that way too. So we wanted to get back to the fun videos that we used to make, and so Pain, we decided to, you know, have some fun with it.
Okay.
And it worked out great.
Rock and roll is a synonym of fan. It's like having fun. Do you see, I mean, the future for Bon Jovi? There's some people like, I don't know, like Bono Box from U2 said, it's not only rock and roll. The Rolling Stones said it's only rock and roll. But maybe it's not only rock and roll. Maybe you can experiment a little bit for the future, adding, I don't know, different instruments. Are you planning something for the future, or just like you feel it like rock and roll and that's it?
You never know what you're going to evolve into. I mean, every day you change and you have new learning experiences and stuff like that. I mean, you know, our next album will be another evolution somewhere. We're not sure where that is yet. We're still in the middle of this one, so you never know. But I think it'll always, you know, it'll always be us. It'll always be Bon Jovi stylistically diversifying into another place.
Vamos a hacer una pausa, ya seguimos en Hora Prima junto a Bon Jovi en una especie de día en la vida junto a estos animales de la carretera. Hey, guys, you've been more than a couple of years in this rock and roll business, and I like to, I mean, it's time to, yeah, it's been, I mean, how many years? 10, 12?
That we've been making records?
Okay,
Yeah.
forget it.
We've been making records, what, 12, 13 years?
But it's been enough time to make certain conclusions. This is my theory. It's like comes Bon Jovi, Fahrenheit, one thing. Then Slippery When Wet, New Jersey, another thing. Keep the Faith, your entrance to the 90s. CrossRoads is the greatest hits, and These Days. Do you think that Keep the Faith and These Days are the pair? Like something similar, the way you see the things now?
Somewhat. Yeah, I think it was a good bridging gap, and I agree with what you're saying. The first two were what they were, the second two were what they were, the solo albums were what they were, and then the next era is now where we're at, and so I think that's pretty accurate, yeah.
How do you feel now playing in the 90s? That's the reason that Keep the Faith was your entrance to the 90s. You told me it was hard times. It's different now, but
I think it's comfortable. I think we're, I mean, every day is still survival in this business. I think it's that way in any business, of course, but I think that we're just more settled in who we are as people in general, and also as musicians in our place in the music business. I think that we're becoming comfortable and we're handling it very well.
Did you ever think that CrossRoads would sell so much?
I never even gave it much thought. I mean, let alone at 14 million records is pretty astronomical. But it's pleasant surprise,
And up to what extent was the reason of always and someday it will be Saturday night? Up to what extent was it because of the people who were buying the greatest hits, or because they were buying the new songs? What do you think? That always was the catalyst there?
I think it was definitely a catalyst for sure, but I mean, it had to be the whole thing that people were getting into, and it's good that people rediscovered some of our stuff through Always, but I'm sure there was a big fan base that also bought them for the greatest hits. So
yeah, hard to say.
Which is your favorite song in a greatest hits package? Your favorite song? Wanted Dead or Alive?
That's tough. Yeah, I would have to say Wanted Dead or Alive, and also maybe a new version of Prayer and things like that.
And in your case, John?
I probably Wanted, yeah.
Hablemos un poco acerca de Latinoamérica. Let's talk a little bit about Latin America. You're going again in October, and that's the final point. What do you remember? Which is the most anecdotic, funny thing that you remember about Latin America? Any of the times you've been there?
Buenos Aires is always pretty wild. Very Beatlemaniac crowds. The people in front of the hotels, the stadiums really rock. There's a lot of fun things when we go out, in that town. So I think it's always a sense of adventure when you go down there.
It's still like you feel it's amazing because in the 90s you're still discovering new places in the world.
That's
like
right.
Going Thailandia, Bombay, or...
Yeah, that's right.
Are you planning to include a different country in Latin America this year?
Colombia. Yeah, we've never been there.
In Venezuela, I believe, so we haven't been there.
We haven't been there? No.
So adds a sense of excitement, like discovering a thing, like a challenge.
That's right. We go to new places.
It won't be that much of a challenge because in Colombia, and in Venezuela, the people are waiting and just waiting.
Okay, lovely.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. We'll be on the plane. Vamos a estar un poco viajando con ellos, viendo un concierto. Yesterday they played. Today you play again.
That's right.
Nice life. Okay.
Good work if you can get it.
Rock
See ya.
and roll. Okay. Muy confortable, pero estamos sobre un avión a, qué sé yo, no importa, 10.000 pies, nunca importa. Estoy junto a Tico Torres, estamos en el avión privado de la banda de Bon Jovi. Gracias, muchas gracias, Tico, por tu tiempo. Tú hablas primero, tienen que saber, él habla un perfecto español, así que te lo agradecemos que nos hables en español porque esto es MTV para Latinoamérica. ¿Qué te recuerdas de Latinoamérica?
La gente, y toda la gente en Sudamérica, la comida está fantástica, el arte y todo, me encanta. Si puedo vivir ahí, voy a vivir, pero es muy lejos de mi familia.
¿Te sientes cuando vienes a un lugar como Chile o Argentina o México, que estás más en tu lugar porque la gente habla tu idioma? ¿Sientes como un poco o ya vives en dos mundos?
No dos mundos, pero me siento más en casa, como si vivo ahí, para hablar español y estar con los latinos, me encanta. Me encanta vivir así.
Hay una parte de la vida de Tico que seguramente ustedes no conocen, que es, Tico siempre es la agresividad, pegarle a los tambores, el doble bombo, la fuerza, el power. Sin embargo, este hombre tiene una cosa tan contemplativa como el hobby, y más que hobby, de pintar. Cuéntanos de eso.
Bueno, a mí siempre, toda mi vida, me gusta admirar a las pinturas de pintores y es una cosa que cuando estoy en gira voy por todo el mundo y veo conozco a la gente y los lados que voy me gusta pintarlos en canvas. Es como un world tour de Tico.
Okay.
Es una memoria que siempre sale de mi corazón y me encanta, yo pinto todos los días.
Y esto se ha traducido casi en algo más que hobby, estás haciendo exhibiciones.
Exhibiciones, hice una en Miami hace dos días que salió muy bien y otro hace 6 meses, pero lo tenía en Nueva York, que pasó muy bien.
Ahora, como baterista ya debes estar cansado que te digan lo bueno que eres y lo fuerte que eres.
Bueno, gracias.
¿Qué es lo mejor
tú lo
que
crees.
¿Qué es lo mejor que te han dicho como pintor? El mejor, ¿qué es lo más bueno que te han dicho?
Lo más bueno es que cuando alguien lo vea, que le gusta.
Okay.
Para mí eso es todo, porque yo siempre pintaba nada más para mí, para darle regalo a mis amigos y mi familia, y nunca puse esa visión, y ahora que la gente le gusta mirarlo y cada pintura es algo diferente para cada persona, ¿sabes? Por eso warms my heart.
Okay.
¿Sabes?
¿Cómo se siente mejor Tico tocando? ¿Cuando es un ritmo más lento, más soul, o cuando es la agresividad, es el double bass drumming? ¿Cuál es tu lado como músico, como baterista?
A mí me gustan los dos.
Los dos.
Porque en vida tiene que tener los dos.
Okay.
O sea, lo suave, lo duro, la canción de amor, la canción de una historia de alguien más.
Okay.
Todo es diferente, yo creo que necesita todo eso para hacer una canción bonita y un concierto bonito y un disco bonito.
¿Qué le dirías a la gente para terminar ahora? ¿Qué le dirías a la gente en Latinoamérica? Sé que van a ir a tocar a lugares nuevos. ¿Cuáles son esos en Latinoamérica para que la gente ya lo sepa?
No, vamos a estar, ya fuimos a Chile y todo eso, y Argentina y todo, pero para ir a ¿cómo se llama?
A Ecuador.
Ecuador, sí. Ecuador. Fuimos el año pasado, la última ida fuimos a Costa Rica por primera vez.
Okay.
Yo creo que en Ecuador y también en Colombia, si es lo mismo, para tener los ojos nuevos y para que escuchen la música, porque vamos a rockar para 2 o 3 horas.
Perfecto, se lo puedo garantizar. El show de Bon Jovi es para 2 horas y media y puede ser aún más. Muy buen show. Gracias, Tico, por tu tiempo.
Encantado.
Seguimos en Hora Prima junto a Tico Torres en tour de Bon Jovi. Acá en Hora Prima, ahora estamos junto a David Bryan, el cuarto, y en este caso, como son 4 ahora los Bon Jovi, el último miembro, pero no menos importante, a cargo de los teclados. Dave, thank you very much for the time. Todavía estamos arriba del avión, es increíble, a 12.000 pies de altura, junto a David Bryan. Dave, how the tour is going?
Tour's going very good.
You were Europe first.
No, actually we started in India. We started Bombay, India was the first show. Then we went to Thailand, then Malaysia, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, China, Japan, Korea, then Europe.
And then Europe. So we heard like maybe you were so far away we didn't know about the whole thing. I mean, you play in such far away countries.
Yeah.
How did the experience?
Great.
Discovering new places.
Great. We did 50,000 people in India stadiums. So it's there's a lot of fans out there, especially for new countries that break open. You know, and it's great.
There's knowing all around the globe, playing everywhere. There's a difference that you can tell between like the Latin American audience, the European audiences, the American audiences. It's kind of different, or it's pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same. I mean, it's always good, you know, and then some places are just a little crazy. Usually Latin audiences are a little bit loco.
Okay.
In a good way, you know, they really let loose and like to party and have a good time.
How's your Spanish doing?
Muy bien.
Muy bien?
Sí.
Can you tell us a little bit more? Or?
It's just, yo hablo español un poco.
Un poco. Okay, one thing that I was thinking when I saw you playing live yesterday, you're playing tonight again. Do you feel sometimes going like autopilot? Like, you know the show so well. You can do the things like by check automatically.
Well, we're still human. I mean, you still have the chance to mess up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a concentration level. And we change the show up. It's not the same, like you're going to see a different show tonight. So we have so many songs now that we just change it up so we don't go into that.
Okay.
And plus, you know, when you walk on that stage, there's nothing automatic.
Okay.
You know, you really have a chance to suck. Excuse my French, but you know what I mean?
Okay.
You have to maintain your mental capacity to always put out 110% takes a lot.
Now we're flying on a plane, so that's pretty weird for me because I'm not used to it. Which are the good things and the bad things about touring?
This is a good thing. Bon Jovi Airlines. It's a very good thing.
And the bad things?
The bad
I
thing,
don't want to think about it.
just it's tough touring. Like just in the 2 days you see here, I mean, it's you're always moving and moving and moving and moving and moving, and time goes by pretty quick. You know, you're away from home and away from your family, but that's a certain sacrifice.
Are you still living in New Jersey?
Yes,
So this is the place you call home?
that's home.
Perfect. You know that you have a home in Latin America?
Sí.
That's it. Sí.
Gracias.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dave.
Okay.
Vamos a seguir con Hora Prima, así que no se despeguen, seguimos junto a videos y acá con el hombre de las letras, Bon Jovi.
Hasta la vista.
Says we gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference, we make it overnight. We got each other, that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot, oh, there.
Bueno, chicos, lo que acaban de ver era la prueba de lo bueno y lo grande, el show, el espectáculo de Bon Jovi en vivo. Estuvimos con ellos en Hora Prima, tuvimos el acceso total y todo lo que tiene un buen comienzo en un día en la vida de Bon Jovi tiene un muy bien final. Esto, lo que está atrás, es el jet privado de Bon Jovi, los chicos malos de New Jersey. Y en estos días nosotros tenemos que volver a casa a descansar. Gracias por la sintonía y nos vemos en cualquier otro Hora Prima.
Come on, come on, come on, give me something for the pain. Give me something for the blues. Give me something for the pain when I feel I'm taking on the hanging blues. Or give me something for the rain. Give me something I can use. We'll get me through the night, make me feel alright, something like you. Lonely days, found the moment.
In Saraville, New Jersey, recording the demos for Slippery. And prior to that, we never let anyone hear the records until they were completely finished. And with this one, there was like this little hangout around the block, which was like, you know, a milk store and pizza joint and this and that. A bunch of kids are hanging out. We said, hey, why don't you come on over? You want to hear it? You know, just come on and see what y'all think. So we had these kids come on over, and I don't know, it was probably only like half a dozen of them or whatever, you know. And we just played them that, and I guess the myth is bigger than the actual.
Yeah, these kids are sitting in their house now going, at the pizza pub, me? I'm the pizza pub.
White Cliffs of Dover and
emote.
You know, it was a situation.
And that was the most fun, that video.
It was great.
Man, it was
we
great.
bought a bunch of Super 8 cameras. We gave them out. We said on the radio, bring your own.
And we got Sam to open it up for us, you know.
Yeah, Sam came down and made it, you know.